Traditional fantasy stories promise us shining castles, chivalrous knights, and heroes who always win. The good guys wear white, the bad guys wear black, and the moral lines are sharply drawn. But King's Landing greets Ned Stark not with nobility, but with shouting merchants and choking smoke. Up north at the Wall, Jon Snow trades his noble dreams for a freezing camp filled with outcasts and thieves. Episode 3 marks the point where those stories end. It forces the characters to recognize that the myths they relied on are useless in the world they actually inhabit. In this environment, the traits of a classic hero actually make you a target. Playing by the rules of honor in the Seven Kingdoms is a fatal vulnerability. To have any chance of surviving the lethal game unfolding around them, every protagonist must shed their comforting childhood illusions. When Ned Stark steps into the small council chamber, he fully expects to dive into matters of law, security, and the defense of the realm. Looking at the crown's ledger, the Master of Coin delivers a reality check. The kingdom is practically bankrupt, drowning under 6 million gold dragons of debt. The incoming revenue is completely dwarfed by expenditures, the gold evaporated into extravagant celebrations. The rot extends far beyond the treasury. Standing before the Iron Throne, Ned confronts Jaime Lannister, the man who stabbed the previous king in the back. Years have passed, but the court still operates on deep, unhealed grudges and a total lack of accountability. Behind closed doors, Queen Cersei teaches her son Joffrey an even more toxic lesson. She tells the future king that objective facts are irrelevant. As long as he holds power, he can force the world to believe whatever truth he invents. Meanwhile, in the shadows of the city, Catelyn Stark investigates the attempt on her son's life. Pettier Baelish seizes the moment, claiming the assassin's dagger belongs to Tyrion Lannister, actively watering the seeds of a massive, bloody conflict. The capital offers no justice. It is an empty, bankrupt shell where truth is treated as a weakness, and every conversation is a calculated trap. 1,000 miles to the north, Jon Snow finds a reality that bears no resemblance to his expectations. He envisioned the Night's Watch as an elite brotherhood of warriors, but instead, he is sparring with untrained beggars and criminals. It takes a blunt conversation with Tyrion Lannister for Jon to understand why his new brothers hate him. His ability to fight isn't a sign of inherent superiority. It's the result of growing up in a castle with a master-at-arms, a luxury the other recruits never had. Back at Winterfell, Bran Stark finally opens his eyes, only to face a devastating new reality. The cheerful boy who spent his life scaling towers learns his legs are paralyzed. The defining joy of his childhood is permanently gone. Across the narrow sea, another royal illusion crumbles. Viserys Targaryen demands total obedience from his sister, clinging to the belief that he is a divine, untouchable king. But when Viserys draws a weapon on her, the Dothraki warriors step in to protect Daenerys, not him. She gives the command to spare him, realizing in an instant that real authority has shifted into her hands. Across entirely different continents, the result is exactly the same. The childhood safety nets are gone, leaving these characters exposed to the harsh truths of adulthood. Stripped of their naive expectations, the survivors have to forge entirely new, pragmatic identities. Arya Stark outright rejects the embroidery and manners of a noble lady. Instead, she takes up a wooden practice sword under the tutelage of Syrio Forel, learning the lethal, fluid strikes of the Braavosi water dance. Jon Snow drops his arrogant posturing. Instead of beating the untrained recruits to show off, he steps into the role of a teacher, choosing to earn their respect and lead them. For Jaime and Cersei Lannister, survival means doubling down on absolute ruthlessness. Facing the threat of Bran waking up, Jaime calmly states he will kill children, lords, or the king himself to keep their incestuous secret buried. This loss of innocence forces everyone to adapt. They are now locked into a high-stakes arena, where assassination and revenge are the only reliable tools. As the lords and ladies of the South sink deeper into their political maneuvering, Castle Black sits quietly on the edge of the world, practically forgotten. The leadership of the Night's Watch stares down terrifying data. Their ranks are depleted. Wildlings are fleeing south in terror, and rangers bring back reports of white walkers moving through the frozen forests. While the lords of the South focus on balancing ledgers and settling blood feuds, the Wall is left with fewer men and fewer resources. They are fighting for a throne that might not matter by the time winter arrives. They are sharpening their swords for a political war, completely blind to the fact that their petty squabbles have left the realm defenseless against the ancient threat waking up in the ice.